God, I didn't know his name was Justin Roiland. I had heard about this story.
Roiland,
I'm sorry, Moyland. He's a Moyle, don't you know?
God forbid.
Well, he's behaving like one. Justin Roiland, the co-creator of Rick and Morty, is awaiting trial for domestic violence against an ex-girlfriend.
If it's an ex-girlfriend, can we stop abusing them now?
Well, she might have been the girlfriend when she was being abused.
Okay.
I mean, now she's the ex-girlfriend, so she got something right. I mean, there is that. So this guy, by the way, anyone who creates a Rick and Morty, you tell me he's bad with women or a creep or any, I believe it 100%. Because anyone who creates these nerd phenomenons almost always ends up being a closet creep.
I would completely agree with that.
Yeah, and by the way, this guy looks like a fucking... He looks like a guy who gets...
a douchebag.
He looks like a guy who gets beat by his chick. I would have definitely I would have said that this guy, if you said, oh, what'd he get tripped up for? I would have said Me Too or child stuff.
Yes.
A guy, hold on. Give me a second. I almost didn't make that sneeze. I held it in as long as I could. But I feel like another one could be coming.
Lucky knows.
Yeah. All right. I think we're in the clear. So this Justin Roiland pled not guilty to charges from May of 2020. He co-created the animated series Rick and Morty and provides the voices for the two title characters. He's awaiting trial on charges of felony domestic violence against a former girlfriend. Corporal injury, false imprisonment by menace, fraud, violence, or deceit against the woman whom he was living with at the time. The woman is not identified in court documents. It happened in 2020. Roiland and Dan Harmon created the animated sci-fi sitcom about a mad scientist and his grandson, both voiced by Roiland. It was aired for 6 seasons on Cartoon Network and has been renewed for a 7th. Well, I mean... So that's his thing? I thought his thing was like he was a creep and he was like some kind of like a sex weirdo. Oh, here we go. This is the one that I saw. I didn't know.
So there's more?
Yeah, Rick and Morty creator Justin Roiland's leaked DMs to a minor are going viral on Twitter following the news of him facing domestic assault charges. So this all came out because of the domestic assault charges.
It opened the door, yeah.
Other purported victims have come out to say that Roiland manipulated them, sharing old text messages between them and the writer as proof. The creator of the popular animated series Rick and Morty is facing domestic violence charges over an incident involving the ex-girlfriend, so on and so forth. But he has yet to address the leaked messages he reportedly sent to minors on social media platforms. So we've got like a Dalia thing going on here.
Why do we do these things? I never understand why anyone, first of all, needs to contact minors because there's plenty out there.
It's something,
age,
to me, it's something in your brain that cannot be fixed.
It has to be because I could never imagine going after a minor.
Maybe we'll find it someday. Maybe we'll be able to program it or deprogram it or whatever. But I just feel like that being attracted is a mental thing that you just kind of have or you don't have. Because like when I was 16, obviously I looked at 16-year-olds and with tits, basically, that's all you needed. And I went, oh man, oh shit. Like there's something just genetically in you. They're your age or whatever. Tits. But then as I got older, like you'd see a 16-year-old and you'd be like, that's not even a complete human. That looks like an embryo.
That's a kid. It's
like an egg. Like you see a high school girl and you go, it's like there's parts of them that are an adult, but then there's other parts you look at and they're a baby.
You're close.
Yeah, it's just like there's this weird deformed adult in front of you. And you're just like, there's something very unappealing about that.
I still got like a weird baby face going on that's still gotta like fall off.
But then I guess with some people like Justin Roiland, they don't get that.
But that's what I don't get. Because like I would never look at a teenager and be like, oh, I just have to have them.
Yeah.
No way.
And what kind of teenager is like looking at a 30, 40-some-year-old man and being like, oh,
I'll tell you, somebody who's famous.
I guess, you know what? In this case, they weren't. In this case, he sent them DMs.
Yeah, but if you... Hold on, though. Like, then if the minor is messaging back with this guy, though, too, I don't totally let that person off the hook. Like, if you're a minor and somebody older than you is messaging you, probably don't keep going after them. Like, don't message them back.
I'm fine with it until
What?
like if they keep doing it to the point where it gets sexual and you keep going with it,
Where
then
else
that's
does it
fucked
go?
up.
Why
No,
else is the adult talking to the kid?
No, if you're first of all, if you're 16, you're stupid. So if like the creator of Rick and Morty DMs you and goes, "Hey, how's it going?" I don't begrudge a 16-year-old for responding to that
Okay,
DM.
if I message back, I'm like, oh, sure, cool. The guy from Rick and Morty is
Yeah,
messaging me,
that's
but
what
I
I
also
mean.
know what he's doing. I'm not retarded.
At 28, you do.
At 16, like, why is an older guy ever talking to you? Ever. Ever.
Maybe.
Like, you've gone on entire rants about this before, about how stupid
Those are
women
kids.
Like,
Women are dumb, but
Come on.
kids are dumb. Kids are dumber than women. So like women at 30 can have a guy come up and talk to them and they have no idea the guy's trying to fuck them. 16-year-olds are even dumber than that. 16-year-olds are innocent and stupid.
I feel like that's all you think about at 16, though, is like, oh, who's hitting on me and who's not.
Maybe you could be. I mean, look, you've been a 16-year-old girl before.
Yeah.
I will say I will admit something. I have not.
I will completely admit, like, when you're a freshman, sophomore in high school, and if you got like a junior or senior guy talking to you, there's no question in your mind.
Okay, if when you were 16, if Roiland, the creator of Rick and Morty, DM'd you on Twitter, you know exactly what it's about right away?
I would assume there's something up, yeah.
Okay.
That the guy's not going to message me for no good reason.
I guess, yeah, I'm a guy. If I was 16 and he
serious?
messaged me, I'd be like, oh, cool. Oh, the guy from Rick and Morty. Like,
Yeah,
if
but
he was
he's-
gay and he DM'd me at 16, I wouldn't put two and two together.
What I'm saying, though, is if you're a 16-year-old and you've got this writer of Rick and Morty talking to you out of nowhere, you have to assume something's up.
SC Motorsports is pointing out, I said I've never been a 16-year-old girl. SC says, Aaron, your tits say otherwise. But I haven't, I promise.
When did they come in?
Probably about 10.
Oh, really? Were you a chunky little kid?
I was, I yo-yoed, man.
Really?
Yeah, kind of,
Okay.
you know.
I know what you mean.
I kind of, you could take a look at my pictures grade to grade and you'd be like, fat year, not so fat year. Fat year, not so fat year.
I don't think I ever was fat by any means, but you could tell when I was younger, like I had more of a baby face, like
Yeah.
my face was rounder.
When I stopped playing football, I shot up like 4 inches and 25 pounds. Like it was my sophomore year. I was
When
done.
you stopped playing?
Yeah, I stopped playing football. That's not true. I stopped playing football while I was growing. So my freshman year, I went from 5'10 to 6'2. And I went from 170 pounds to 220 pounds. Between freshman and like not between
You
freshman
were
and sophomore year,
this
but during
weight
Yeah.
at that age.
Yeah.
Wow.
I-
That's got to be a bigger looking kid, though, right?
I wasn't a little fella. That's for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was this size when I was well then,
You
then my
weren't that tall, but you were that size.
I was
Like
about an inch or two
weight-wise.
shorter than I am now. Yeah,
Right. So
about
that weight gets
220.
distributed differently.
But then when I was a junior and a senior, when I hurt my shoulder, I couldn't play baseball anymore. I took up boxing, and then that'll throw some weight off you. Especially I wasn't lifting weights, so it was all just cardio. I got really skinny. I went to like 190 pounds, and I looked like a ghost.
That's a lot of weight to yo-yo.
Yeah.
220 to 190.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it took place over like 6-7 months. When you're
Still a ton of weight.
Dude, when you're 17 or 18 years old, though, like you lose 3 pounds just not eating normal in a day. It's wild the way that shit works. But yeah, now it's just, you and I are going back to the gym and we're finding out how much of our weight was just atrophied muscle.
I've been 5 times this week.
No, 4. I've been 3. You've been 4.
It's going to be 5.
You cheated. You went during the show on Monday when I couldn't go.
I don't see how that's like a bad thing. I used my time wisely.
It's a bad thing for me, I'm saying. I didn't get to
Go after.
What were we doing? Oh, no, we had to pick up the kids.
kids
early.
didn't have school.
Kids didn't have school, so we had to pick them up early Monday. Now we're getting to the stuff that nobody cares about. Roiland's previous fans have accused him of predatory behavior, which involves incidents from when they were just teens. According to the alleged victims, Roiland abused his status to approach minors on social media. This is kind of a weird thing because it's like the D'Elia deal. You can't bust the guy on anything criminal.
Right. It's not like he touched her, I guess.
Right, but you also want to let the world know, like, hey, we all think this guy's a fucking animal. Like, we all think this guy, like, he's not with us. Like, we're not with this guy. There's like a public shaming crime that you've committed, but it doesn't rise to, like, you look around, you can still make a living, you can still do things, It's just everyone on the internet thinks you're a crazy
creep.
person and a creep. Yeah. So this is kind of one of those weird things where you're like, I'm sure if we let this guy go, he might someday commit a crime. Mm-hmm. But as of now, he's committed no crime, but we all really are grossed out by him.
Here's something that I always wondered too. Like you just said, if we let this guy go, he'll commit a crime someday, maybe. Once you've been outed for doing some weird things, wouldn't you want to stay off the radar and not do those things ever again?
Unless you can't help yourself. It's an impulsion.
That's what always weirded me out about D'Elia is like he's clearly like there's been a lot of smoke around him of a lot of things. Wouldn't you want to stop doing that so the spotlight can get off you a little bit?
Haven't you heard?
And he didn't stop.
Haven't you heard? Chris D'Elia is better now.
No, he's not.
He prays now.
Look.
I'm not saying that. I didn't say that.
Okay.
Would you like to see it? And then we'll get back to Roiland. We'll do a Roiland D'Elia mashup clip today. Here, Roiland D'Elia. We'll do them both. Yeah, Chris D'Elia, he prays now for his haters.
Oh, he prays for the haters?
Yeah.
Not even for his own, like, well-being. It's for the haters.
Yeah, it's reacts to insane mega preachers. That's not it. Where is it? Oh, no, I just watched this the other day. Reacts to I'm not gay.
Maybe say pray. Oh. Maybe say praise instead of prayer.
I thought it was the fighter in the kids channel that had it. Yeah, he said he prays for his haters. Ethan Klein trashes Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen. I don't want to like Ethan Klein. Brian lies about knowing Chris D'Elia. Where'd it go? Is it gone?
I saw a trashes D'Elia one.
No, it was Chris D'Elia prays for his haters. Praise. Maybe I saw it on Twitter. It might have been. It's worth looking, guys. I know these fishing expeditions suck on the show, but this one is worth looking at. Chris D'Elia prays. No results.
A fucking rubber.
Did I watch this in my sleep?
You actually were saying Chris's name last night in your sleep.
Chris D'Elia pray. Oh wait, here it is. Oh no, I pray it's bullshit. No, there's like a thing where he says I'm gonna pray for my haters.
He looks like a creep.
Oh shit, it was such a cringe clip too. Maybe I hate him so much I'm inventing clips in my head.
You have your own fan fiction for Chris D'Elia?
I have my own Chris D'Elia fan fiction. Son of a bitch. Are you spelling pray, P-R-E-Y? Oh, mate, you know what? That's my problem.
Oh, he prays for his
my computer autocorrects. When I type in Chris D'Elia and pray, it autocorrects to P-R-E-Y. That's what it is.
It makes sense.
Oh, no. And you know what the worst part is? Nobody watching our show and in our chat right now has watched it either. So now this is making me think that I dreamed that Chris D'Elia... No, I was down here. I was getting rid... I'm not crazy, April. I'm not crazy.
Oh, ow. I believe you. God, I can't even insult you. I heard.
I know. Chris D'Elia prays for his haters.
Maybe if you spell it with an E, it'll come up with the right thing.
Maybe I spell it H-A-D-U-R-S. Haters, B. Motherfucker.
I don't think this exists.
I don't. I'm gaslighting myself.
And you excited me over nothing.
Hey, Zen, could you do me a favor and could you send that link in Twitter DMs? Because for some reason, when I click on YouTube links, if I copy and paste, it'll work. If I click on it right out of the chat, it won't go. Oh, could this be it? Yes.
Why'd you post about it?
Here it is. I found it. Oh, Win by 2 Radio. He watches our show. I'm sorry, buddy. You deserve the...
but Aaron doesn't subscribe to you.
Sorry, Win by 2.
Now he does.
Is he here?
I don't know.
Please don't be here. Oh.
He's right there.
I'm so sorry, buddy. That is 100% on me.
I got him to subscribe. It's all right now.
I just subscribed to your channel.
Reparations.
Hey, everybody else, go subscribe to Win by 2 Radio. I like him. He's always fun in the chat. He's always a good dude. He busts balls once in a while, but in a fun way. Oopsie daisy. Yeah, no, everybody owes him a sub now because I'm an asshole, idiot, fuckface. Go subscribe to Win by 2 Radio. Unique did the exact same as you, Aaron. What? Couldn't find the fucking clip? Yeah, but he has an excuse. He's on
he's fucked up.
He's on lean and weed. I mean, he can barely fucking see straight by the time he starts streaming.
I would love to see Dr. Lexus diagnose Unique.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Just comes into Unique.
Azang essay. It says on your chart that you're fucked up. Now there are plenty of tards out there living really kick-ass lives.
I watched your stream yesterday, man.
You talk like a fag, and your shit's all retarded.
Unique narcolepsy. That's a good way to put it, too. Because have you ever been watching one of his streams where he just kind of falls asleep?
People watch to see.
I'm afraid for him sometimes.
Yeah, people watch to see if he will fall asleep. And
he streams out of a little closet too, so I worry that nobody will find him if he's having a problem.
This is Win by 2 Radio, and when we put this up as a clip, we'll the Roiland and D'Elia thing, we'll make sure we link to his channel here. Thank you, Win by 2 Radio. Here's Chris D'Elia. Again, I don't think this guy could have more of a guilty conscience and be slowly kind of letting it out. Mm-hmm. Like the Snapchat, his face going white when they tell him that Snapchats can be saved.
Yeah.
Or when the new accusations come out and he brings his wife on his podcast to talk about how much into older chicks he is.
She covers for him.
Oh, she's so gross.
So she's clearly in on it too, obviously.
Yeah. I don't.
Crosby's wife did the same thing, right? Basically.
Crosby?
Or Cosby.
I was going to say, he died, you piece of shit.
Cosby.
Yeah, Camilla. Camille.
I have Crosby on the brain.
Well, you see, Camille covered for me, and Chris D'Elia steals all of my best bits. Chris D'Elia, I told him to put the Spanish fly in the wine, and he said, why don't you use Snapchat, Bill? And I said, I can't get it on my jitterbug. I had Chris D'Elia write a couple of jokes for me, but they all started with a high school sophomore walks into a panty party, a doop.
Your little turtle mouth is so funny.
You like the Bill Cosby turtle mouth? Every time I worked with Chris D'Elia, I would put I would put the Spanish fly in the ladies' wine, and he would put a Quaalude in the kids' juice box. He would take the Quaalude, he would put it in the juice box, and he would shake it up like wazzle-de-whizzle-de-bob-de-bam, and then the kid would take the sip of the Quaalude juice box, and then all of a sudden, Chris D'Elia would call himself Santa Claus, and he would ask the child to sit on his lap. Only the child didn't know was Chris had a 6.5-inch erection measured from the base of the balls to the tip of the penis.
No.
That's when Chris D'Elia and Bill Cosby worked together.
I think they should actually get together and start doing a tour.
Was there anything you would like to know about Chris D'Elia since the documentary has come out? I've been telling all of my stories.
Is it true? Is it all true?
All I know about is he would call his 6.5-inch erection measured from the base of the balls to the tip of the penis his candy cane. He would do this joke whether it was Christmas time or Easter or All Saints Day or All Hallows Eve. He didn't care when the Santa Claus joke got used as long as the Quaalude got into the juicy juice. Boop.
That's all I needed to know.
Thank you very much for your time. Would you like a glass of Merlot?
No, thanks.
Okie dokie artichoke. All right.
Your little chin does a thing when you do that.
All right. Well, Bill Cosby, look.
It's very flattering to the chin.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get some dirt out of Bill, but, we got some stuff. It's pretty gross, but
it was off-putting.
Yeah, we got to still investigate a little further. This is Chris. So Chris D'Elia so far, to cope with the latest accusations, has brought his wife on his podcast, because he loves her so much.
And she clearly loves him too, right?
Of course. And then she brings up on the podcast, totally unprompted by him, that all of his hall pass girls are in their 40s. And Chris, you're really oddly into older women. Oh, yeah, I like them older. My DMs say the opposite, but thank you, wife, for running PR cover for a guy who's been nothing but a complete bag of shit to you your entire life.
Well, maybe all those 40-year-old women just identify as, minors online.
So we have those, and now we have this. Again, tell me the internet's bothering you without telling me the internet's bothering you.
Why'd you post about it? If you were Christian, you wouldn't. And I was like, guess what? Not Christian.
Ugh.
But I kind of am, you know. I've been praying a little bit, been trying. Feel phony when I do it, but I still try to do it.
Feeling phony shouldn't feel weird to you, Chris.
Also, yeah,
You should be used to it by now.
Praying is like kind of, okay, pull the curtain back. Like the whole thing about praying is like you've got faith in whatever you're asking for.
Yeah. Praying is wishing.
Praying is wishing, but you're having some faith in it. So, I mean, if you're feeling phony, I don't think you're really doing the thing.
Yeah, I don't think you're doing it right.
I pray for my enemies. Did you know that? I pray for my enemies. I do. I pray for my enemies and I pray for my haters. And I got to be honest, it's a little bit because I heard, you know, I've heard Tupac did that.
He died.
And, you know, a lot of good hit. It did him. He wound up dead. But I'm saying,
imagine being a white guy with neck tattoos and doing something because Tupac did it.
I hate this guy.
Hey, you know what? Tupac pretended to be a gangster when he was really an art school kid. So I guess Chris D'Elia's doing a similar thing. He's pretending to be a family man while being a complete sex pest creep.
Yeah, they're totally the same thing.
So there you go. Yeah. You know what? He's just in Tupac's before Death Row Records phase, where Tupac was just like being really shitty to women. So that's the part of Tupac. He's like Tupacalypse Now Tupac.
He's like an onion, and you got to keep peeling back these sex pest layers.
Yeah,
to get to, like,
exactly.
The real good family man in the middle.
He's in Pac before jail mode, you know?
but, you know, honestly, did he live the life he was supposed to? Because he's influenced many people. And if he didn't die, would he have influenced that many people? I don't know. But all I'm saying is I pray for my enemies.
Yeah.
You just
And so that's what I do now.
He just
and I do
compared
that,
himself
and
to
I do it
Tupac.
honestly through gritted teeth. But I feel like the more I do it, the better I'll get at it. And I think I'm missing the point, honestly, because I do it like...
You know, by the way, you don't have haters. You have people who are judging you because they've heard from the people themselves the horrific and terrible shit you've done. They have receipts. They've showed them multiple times. You don't have haters. You have, like, having a hater is like, let's see, who has haters?
Nickelback.
Nickelback has
Chad
haters.
Kroger.
Nickelback has done nothing to anyone.
Yeah.
Ever. Nickelback has never done anything bad to anyone. They've just made music. You can choose to listen to it. You can choose not to listen to it. They have haters, just people who hate. A hater is someone who just goes, I fucking hate that. I don't know why, I just hate it. Chris D'Elia has judgers.
People with eyeballs.
Chris
and a
D'Elia has
brainstem.
people with eyeballs who have seen what he's up to and have made a moral character judgment about him. That's not a hater. That's a person with eyeballs and a working brain. That's totally different. I love how he's like, hey, I pray for my haters. Aren't I gracious? You're a fucking creep. Like, pray for your haters.
Pray for you.
They don't need to be prayed for.
Some forgiveness here.
In terms of morality, Chris, they're on solid ground. Your soul is shaking.
Yeah, maybe pray for you and then the victims,
Yeah.
the people you've done things to.
Pray for you to have the self-awareness to realize what you've put your family through.
That too. Pray for your
making,
family.
Yeah, in making them cover for you.
Like, and fucking, you know what? I'm going to pray for this motherfucker. But I'm getting better at it because I want to be open and I want to have love for all. And that is the goddamn truth, dude. That's the
Ew.
goddamn truth.
That's like saying true
Ew.
story, true story.
That sounds like a fat white woman that does like the hand things when
Yeah.
she talks. Oh, God.
True story, true story, true story.
I don't like the look of him. Like, he looks the part
Yeah.
in everything. He was like destined to be shit.
Yeah, just destined to be a douche.
Oh,
He was
God.
created in a CIA douche factory. Yeah, Win by Two Radio says he should be praying for his victims.
Yes, that's what I said.
That's who he should pray.
Pray that they can have some healing and forget everything.
The woman who had to go on all fours in a bathroom because you said you'd kill yourself if she didn't. Pray for her and what you've done to her. Yeah. Gravy Show says Chris D'Elia Cavelli, ambitions as a pedo. Peeped a weakness in the pedo game and sowed it.
That is really cringy when somebody that just a shit person like compares himself to somebody that's nothing like him.
Bow down in the bathroom. Hope Chris is listening. Taking pictures on all fours. See the floors, how they glisten. I'm hitting send. Bless me, please, Snapchat. Yeah, that whole thing about like true story, man. That's the truth.
That's the goddamn truth.
That's the goddamn truth. You know how someone's lying? They're really aggressive about how truthful
That's the
something is.
goddamn truth. That's exactly what
I
he did.
don't do creepy shit to women. Oh, So it's,
Oh, well, now I believe you.
yeah, now if you wouldn't have clapped
promise.
your hands, I wouldn't have known. Yeah. I mean, your old tour manager, dozens of women all have the same story about you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to pray for your haters.
All those tattoos.
The tattoos, too. I mean, come on. People say don't judge a book by looking at the cover, but this is a
Oh my
shitty
God.
looking cover.
The book matches the cover, okay?
Stevie J, Crystalia, I bang old women. Here you go.
I believe you.
So now, since we're doing a double shot, Crystalia and Justin Roiland.
I think, by the way, that he got the whole haters thing probably from Brendan Schaub. They spend too
Yeah.
much time together, and he always talks about the haters bee.
Yeah, we're on like day 907 of Brendan Schaub being too fucking stupid to realize Crystalia is an albatross around his neck.
And how long do we have to give him a pass for being stupid?
I don't know. It's honestly, Crystalia is to Brendan Schaub what Brendan Schaub was to Theo Vaughn's career. And Crystalia is actually Brendan's Brendan if Brendan was Theo. He needs to get rid of him so he can go be a bigger deal. Oh, man. I just, the whole Crystalia thing, I think what the latest documentary did is it permanently froze him out of the mainstream forever. And I guess that's nice.
I mean, God willing.
Yeah. And like every podcast he's on, the numbers are just starting to really crater. So
Because,
I think that'll be a self-cleaning oven.
but correct me if I'm wrong, isn't he still doing shows?
Yeah, but with Brendan and that whole thick boy
No,
thing is going
I don't
like
mean
this.
podcasts. I mean,
comedy
he's doing
shows.
comedy shows.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's...
Who is booking that guy?
Well,
it
you
seems-
see...
Yeah. Well, doesn't he kind of seem like a liability now? If you're a club owner and booking this guy, you don't know what's happening to the people at your club now.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I
that
don't-
could happen anytime, but this guy's got a record.
Then again, if you're a girl and you go to a Crystalia show, what does that say about you?
Okay. So everyone's just fucked up.
Yeah, everyone's just fucked up. Maybe you know what? Crystalia can get booked at like Justin Roiland's private birthday party, and they can show each other their DMs.
Okay.
They can.
Oh, I did this. What did you do?
I like having sex with chicks.
What kids?
Everybody does, Chris. Not like I do it. I find them on a middle school playground.
Please stop. Oh, that is such a gross motion.
One person on. So now back to Justin Roiland of Rick and Morty.
Yes.
One person on January 15th shared their alleged old messages with Roiland, but went private after releasing them. On September 2015, Justin Roiland followed me on Twitter. I was 16. Of course, I was so excited because I loved Rick and Morty at the time. She writes in a now deleted tweet. So I messaged him first, and we started talking every now and then. Some of it very casual, but some parts were 100% weird. You know,
Oh, the Rick and Morty guy. Weird. What?
when it comes to stuff like this, though, you know, there's this saying that there's no such thing as a perfect victim. When you're privating everything and then tweeting and then deleting, it's like if you're determined that you're gonna confront these guys and call them out and warn the rest of the world, I think if that's your goal, you have a duty to keep that shit up publicly.
I agree. I think if you take it down, that's not helping your case.
Right. I worry that if you put it up and then take it down, you were doing it for attention rather than doing it to help. Because if you're doing it to help, you take the bullet, you put it out there, you leave it up there so people can see it, and then other people who have had the same issue can maybe come forward too, because that does help.
Because it looks like the same thing they had.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're not alone in shit like this, you feel more comfortable sharing it with people.
I do feel that if you put it up and take it down, it's either for attention or you weren't being completely honest.
Right.
And something in there made you look bad too.
These are the DMs that Justin Roiland allegedly sent this girl back in 2015. Would you do video game reviews and stuff like that? I bet you'd be good. And the girl says, yeah, just playing games and shit. He then says, then once you turn 18, you can start cam whoring.
Oh. That's gross.
Why are you such jailbait? What's wrong with you in that regard? You should grow older, you dumb bitch. Why are the people who write funny shows so generally unfunny in real life? I don't know. Is it cool being a jailbait? Does the FBI follow you around arresting all the men you sleep with? Maybe I will. I want to meet you in real life, jailbait, so I can't help you. So I can't help you not be a homo. I'm Atlanta drunk.
So he meant to say, so I can help you not be a homo. Like he wanted to have sex with her.
So he's, I mean, at the very least, he's a fucking creep. Ew. Yeah, somebody writes in the chat, I'm also good at naked twister. Right. It's, ugh. There's more of these.
Those are really both retarded and nasty.
Yeah. So we don't have, oh God, I can't make these any bigger. We spoke, this is just someone talking to someone else about the Roiland messages. She was right. One of the things Roiland apparently sent to the minor said, you should just run away from home and go into sex slavery, you fucking stupid gay F-word bitch. I see, like, to me...
Somebody needs to take his phone away when he's drunk.
To me, what these are reading like, and I don't know, only seeing snippets of it, what the Rick and Morty guy is looking like here is a guy who's hitting on minors, failing, and then lashing out at them.
Right.
Like, that's kind of what it seems like to me.
When the pickup didn't land, when his attempt didn't land for the other person,
right.
then he's angry
Fuck
about
you,
it.
you jailbait piece of shit. I mean, he's either trying to be funny and failing, or he's talked to these young girls and they either said something shitty to him or rejected his advances, and now he's like being a real asshole to him.
It's like Tony Soprano trying to pick up on his therapist, and she's kind of like poo-pooing it all, and he walks away, you dumb cunt.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Oh yeah, sorry.
I loved you a second ago, but
yeah, here's the next one. Oh yeah, sorry. At the airport, it's insane in the membrane.
Ew.
Don't ever fucking say that.
That's gross.
Cypress Hill doesn't even want to say that
Cypress
anymore.
Hill doesn't want to hear you say that.
Yeah. What time is it there now? 11:37. Oh, so rate. Oh shit. Cancel him for Chinese talk. We got him. I know Hollywood's okay with the pedo shit, but they don't like the Chinese rate instead of late thing, April.
No, I guess not.
Get him.
Get him.
Is so rate and me so Chinese. He just wrote it. I didn't have to read it in the Chinese voice, but I did. What does that say about me?
I don't know for sure.
I'm the one who, you should read it. I'm so rate and me so Chinese, but how I read it was, is so rate and me so Chinese.
You like it up Hannah Wonton? Yeah.
So then she writes to him, I have school tomorrow. See, okay. Up until this point in the conversation, if you don't know she's this age, okay, you're not a creep yet. But the minute she goes, I have school tomorrow, I go, ah!
Okay.
Fuck!
This is also where I won't let her off the hook either, is she should have stopped talking to him long ago.
Yes.
You have to stop talking to these people.
You should just run away from home and go into sex slavery, you fucking stupid gay F-word bitch. And then he wrote JK. Well, at least he's just kidding.
Yeah, I bet he's just JKing.
Yeah, this guy's a fucking creep. In the screenshots below, Roiland tells the young girl to start cam whoring once she turns 18. He also kept referring to her as jailbait. Is it cool being jailbait? We read those. A different woman, Cunt Fibers. It's kind of a fun name.
Cunt Fiber.
Shared her own social media encounter with Roiland, who randomly asked her years ago, are you going to get Morty tattooed on your boob, licking your nipple? If not you, then who? So he doesn't have a lot of game either.
Most of these guys don't. If you're creepy, they don't have game.
That's the thing. These guys who create these nerdy comedy shows that, people seem to really enjoy, it never surprises me anymore when they end up being actual creeps in real life.
Nor should it.
No. Roiland accused of messaging and manipulating minors and several women. One user, Opossumopunk, see, there's something about these accusations when you read the screen names. You're like, guys, can we just use your real names? Like, lend a little more weight to this.
Well, then they can't be as edgy online.
I guess. Took to Twitter and Facebook to reveal how Roiland manipulated her as a teen. He first messaged me on Twitter on January 16th after following me a while before that. I was 16 years old, she wrote. He had been watching my account for a while. He even admitted to that.
Gross.
He had this friend, Christy, who I assume works or worked as a predatory scout for him, finding young girls who looked a certain way and trying to set up threesomes for herself and Justin. Now, I have no idea if this is true, but you have to be an absolute crazy person to make this up.
Yeah, I don't think you just pull Christy out of nowhere.
All of
this whole story.
This is all way too specific for this not to have at least some grain of truth in it. She continued after briefly telling me about Christy and how he found my account through her. He sends a separate message that reads, quote, By the way, not sure if I ever told you this, but I think you're insanely hot. My reply was literally, LMFAO, thanks, I'm not even 18. And he just makes light of it with jokes and continues on with the conversation. See, again, if you're the kid, if you're the high school kid in that scenario, you go, no.
Okay, but even the sentence, by the way, not sure if I ever told you this, but you're insanely hot. You know if you told somebody that.
Right.
You know if you called somebody hot or, God, you're...
He's trying to be playful with the high school kid.
He's trying to be coy. You're really coy.
Opossimo Punk disclosed how Roiland texted her for years. The purported victim believed that they were friends. Again, that's that woman thing.
That is a stupid woman thing. I don't think people should be off the hook for that. You know better.
With the writer acting as a mentor who would teach her about the entertainment and animation industry. It took me years to realize it was always empty promises in an attempt to coerce me into a sexual relationship.
Okay,
what, you thought he just liked you so much you wanted to spend his free time teaching you the ins and outs of the trade?
I promise, even if he was mentoring her in any form, there are like sexual things sprinkled in there, and if you're a minor, you've got to stop talking to that person.
The problem with girls like this is they also hang out with other Rick and Morty fans who are nerdy people. And nerdy guys do try to convince these girls. They all behave like him. They try to convince girls their age that they're friends. And it's, you know, everyone always wants to demonize the jock and the football player. It's these fucking nerds who are going to coerce you into a false sense of security. And then when you're passed out one night, you're going to wake up with fingers in you. Mm-hmm. I mean, those are the guys that do it. I mean, say what you want about the jocks. At least they'll try to fuck you.
They're pretty upfront about it. Where the other ones try the cloak and dagger smart guy routine.
And then when the jocks get rejected for getting fucked, normally what they do is just move on to the next chick.
Yeah.
You know, they're not like these dorky, nerdy guys who are like, I'm your friend. I'm your pal. I'm glad we're so close. I feel like I can tell you anything. We're like brother and sister. He's trying to stick his dick in you, sister. And girls buy it until they pass out one night and they wake up with some weird fucking nerd kissing their snatch.
I have got a story for you after the show.
Oh,
after the show. We live in too small of an area. I don't know. Who knows what?
Do I know this person? Can you write it down?
No.
Can I, hold on.
No, this is for later.
Hold on. Oh, do you want to go to, oh God, I was going to say Von Hansen's. That's not really a date joint.
It is now. We go there enough.
I kind of want
The guy knows us there. He's like, weren't you just here? But it's cheaper than going to the grocery store.
And I like being regular somewhere. Like you have a nice place to go buy your meat. Anyway.
I like your meats.
Oh, no. Chip Chipperson says, April, I told you to keep us a secret.
Oh, Chip, I would never tell
Chippa.
anything about you.
Oh, no, Chippa. That's not good. All right.
I love me some Chip.
Cut it. The purported victim believed that they were friends. On June 2019, Roiland sent the then minor a text saying he will finally be in town. She met up with him in person, and Roiland tried to pressure her to drink more at a party. He also asked her to kiss another woman, but she left not too long after. Better late than never, right?
I fucking guess, but again, like, I've told the story before. I had like a stalker from my own church back in the day when I was.
Was it Chris D'Elia? Was he praying for you because you were a hater?
Might as well have been. But like, I think he was almost 30 and I was a senior in high school. And he like I told this story before. He took my phone number out of like the directory at the church because I helped with events there. And he's. Like, my biggest mistake was, like, ever answering his text, and he seemed like just a friendly person at first who needed help with something, and my biggest mistake was I answered him once, and it's what started innocent went immediately to, like, oh, no, I'll wait for you and all this stuff, and, like, then he'd drive by my tennis practices and tell me how good I looked in my little tennis dress, and...
How old was he?
At least 30. Okay, and I was a senior in high school, and this shit got so weird, and I tried to get him to stop contacting me several times, stop following me. I'd have to unblock his phone number because I'd see him drive by my practices and have to tell him to knock it the fuck off. And eventually, you tell your parents this shameful thing, this stalker person you have, and that turns into a call to the police and a call to his phone number threatening him violently and all this shit.
And that was just your mom.
That was just my mom. That was just my mom. And it's like Your
dad's like, I was putting shingles on the roof. What happened?
No, honest to fuck, it was mom.
Yeah.
And it's like you've got to not talk to these people, because if they've got something to talk to you about, like, they can do it in person. Like, he could have approached me at church and like asked me some things or something.
Yeah.
And like, I never gave him my phone number. You don't talk to these people.
A different Twitter user, Arlocado, echoed these allegations and posted, Justin Roiland has a track record of using social media to hit up and exploit vulnerable people and minors, and I believe this is an open secret in the industry. He used my sexual trauma and my love for Rick and Morty to groom me, and I am just one of so many. I am so glad this is public. You know who this makes look better? People who just use their fame in TV shows to just get pussy from like of age
I can respect
people.
that, because that makes sense. That makes sense that you've got pussy all around you.
If this guy would have been writing to chicks on Twitter who were in their 20s and 30s, and he was meeting up with them and fucking them, no problem.
Okay, but then again, that person you just said, what did she say, that he used her sexual trauma and stuff? Like,
that's fucked up.
Don't tell him about your sexual trauma either.
Yeah, don't tell the creator of Rick and Morty about your sexual trauma.
It's not the guy you need to talk to. Maybe find a therapist, a good friend or something.
Oh, wow. Straight from Justin Roiland's mouth. Oh, this is his response to the whole thing? Roiland then talks about being attracted. Oh, wait a minute. I missed something.
My God.
In 2011, Roiland's disturbing thoughts were broadcast to the world on the Grandma's Virginity podcast, where he discusses being a hypothetical child, saying, if I could go back and be a fourth grade kid right now with what I know, oh my God, I'd be getting laid every fucking day. And it would be legal too, because I would be a little kid. Roiland then talks about being attracted to minors with fully developed bodies. A fucking 14-year-old that looks like she's 18 and like big titties. Like, of course I'm attracted to that. That's why this whole Chris Hansen thing, fuck you, man. I mean, I get he's trying to be funny for a comedy podcast, but there's also
he's not.
There's also some accuracy, like some actual your beliefs in there.
You know why I don't think he's trying to be funny for a podcast is because you're a funny guy, and I can't ever see you saying that shit to be.
Oh,
funny.
I know. I just meant the Chris Hansen line. Like he was throwing that in there to be funny. The 14-year-old line, I believe 100% he believes that. He defends the previous statement, saying 100 years ago it was little 13-year-old girls, and if they were built like a woman, they were getting married and having kids. And now we're going to be all precious about it. Roiland finally makes this surprising claim. So anyways, I'm not a pedophile, though.
Oh, what? So
it's always good. I always have to say that all the time, too, is that I'm not a pedophile. That's always something you should have to say.
Society has evolved, and we've decided that marrying and fucking 13-year-old kids is not cool, and we should probably give them some time to develop and turn into a person first.
So Justin Roiland, the voice of both Rick and Morty. So you got the domestic abuse thing, which is bad enough. But now you have not just one or two, like multiple instances of him being a giant fucking creep. And again, it just reinforces a stereotype for me, which is that these guys that create this nerdy shit and nerdy guys in general are a fucking problem.
Mm-hmm. And they've spent all of their funny on the show. Like after that ends, there's nothing left for them.
They're cloak and dagger about their creepiness. It doesn't come out until it's too late. And this is why I always lecture women. I'm like, these guys aren't going to change. I'm like Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead. I'm like, you have to change. You have to. Luck runs out. You talk. Malcolm X, Denzel in the movie Malcolm X goes, yeah, I'll come speak. He's talking to a woman who had a class full of women. She goes, will you speak to my class? He goes, I will come speak to your class, but I have to warn you, I'm especially hard on the women. And he's like, look, you guys are like the pure ones. Mm-hmm. You got to watch out for the hustles and the scams and the con jobs and everything else. And there's nobody better to teach you about the scams and the con jobs than another guy. There's nobody more honest in this world than a guy who's trying to fuck you.
Sure.
Because he'll just be like, hey, look, I'm really attracted. Like, he's in it for that one thing. Mm-hmm. Okay? Yeah, he may be creepy. Yeah, you may not like it. But at least you can tell him that and he'll leave.
Yes.
He'll go away.
On to the next.
The guy who's trying to be your friend, the guy, like the Rick and Morty guy, the guy who's trying to talk to you about video games, and he's trying to talk to you about all of your interests that you share. And maybe I could bring you to the set one day for a thing. We're just pals.
Oh, yeah. What do you think you're going to do at that set, by the way?
We're just hanging out. And then these girls, these poor girls, they get to thinking, oh, I must be really fun.
I'm interesting.
That's
the best one. They all think they're so interesting to the guys.
No, you can't trust those pieces of shit.
Look, I've been that girl before who thought I was interesting to somebody.
Well, how else do you learn?
That's the only way. That's the only reason I'm even sitting here. I wouldn't consider that a hypocrite. I've been that person before, I guess, but you learn from it.
I know from my experience, I can sit here and be right all day long. Most people, it's just human nature. I'm the same way. Most people aren't going to learn until they learn. They're not going to be taught. They're going to learn. Because it's always easy to think you're the exception to the rule. And you think that until you're not. And then you go, oh, okay.
Well, you want to think that you're the exception to the rule because it keeps you warm at night. It makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, he is really
Nobody wants to
me.
think they're being played with.
No. Like that doesn't keep you warm at night.
So that's kind of what this Rick and Morty guy preyed on, was these girls who thought, oh, I must be so interesting that the creator of Rick and Morty just wants to talk to me. Nope, that's how these Rick and Morty nerdy types are.
That's how I started this whole segment, was like, no, that guy's not just reaching out to you, the 16-year-old.
Well, there you go, guys. We got a Dalia Roiland twofer.
Nice.
All because one of our listeners was very upset
that you were passing on it.
Yeah, that we weren't doing that story. And I was like, I got to be honest, that name doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, and now, like, if you're a Rick and Morty fan, which I don't think either of us are, I don't watch it. I don't think Aaron watches it. Like,
no.
But if you're one of those hardcore Rick and Morty fans, does this change your fandom at all? Or it's got to
creep you out when you hear the voices now a little bit.
Yeah.
A little. Baza says, oh my God, Chad just called Aaron and April the Clintons of podcasts. Yes!
Does that mean...
Hey!
I had to mute the mics for that one.
Hey, you know what? I hope, guys, let Chad know this, Baza, if you're bouncing between rooms. Tell him we accept the role of the Clintons of podcasts, and we really hope he's interested in being the Vince Foster of podcasts. How's that?
He could be that chick that was under your desk for a little bit first.
Well, he's already been that. Ask him if he wants to be the Seth Rich of podcasts. Just let him know. Although when I rob his wallet, I'm just going to find other people's credit cards in there anyway. I like that. We're the Clintons of podcasts. Is that an insult?
Fun. No, I don't think that's an insult.
They can have their enemies
destroyed at any moment.
Ganked. I like that.
What was that word?
Ganked. I was watching Straight Outta Compton yesterday.
Oh my God.
So I'm saying ganked now. What can I do? All right, let's go to the phones. What do we got? Oh, thank you, Win by 2 Radio.
Lemmy.
Thank you.
Lemmy, hold on one second. I just want to throw a thank you out to Win by 2 Radio. $50 super chat says, thanks for the shout out. Good luck this weekend. First round on me. Very nice of you,
huge.
sir.
Thank you.
Only 115 away from today's goal. Lemmy, what's up?
Hi. I'm calling in about the Rick and Morty thing.
Okay.
Are you a fan?
At the risk of sounding like a huge fucking tool, I used to be really, really into the fandom. Like, I ran fan pages on Facebook.
Oh.
I ran an all female Facebook page called
Called Justin Roiland's Fingers Are in Me?
yeah. But women were treated like shit in the fandom. So, like, any good attention from any guy in that fandom would have been like gold to any chick in the fandom. So, like, attention from the king, Justin Roiland himself, would be hitting the jackpot essentially. So
okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't blame that 16-year-old. Like, if Justin Roiland called me, dude, I'd be like, oh my God, book me the next fucking flight out of here.
Yeah. Okay. Where would you cut it off? Would you cut it off at you should be a sex slave?
No, I'd probably go along with it, dude. It was Justin Roiland,
really?
and I was a huge fan, dude.
Lemmy, you Rick and Morty fans are the reason I can't watch that fucking show. You're all so damaged.
Oh, that's why I left the fandom, and I just enjoy the show on my own and just don't associate with those people because they're fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, but what was the point?
They started riots.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
They started riots over fucking Szechuan sauce. April.
Yeah, they're really gay.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, they're really bad. Corey's told me about that. Where like they did it, and it like wasn't. I can't remember Corey's story about it. Like, however the Rick and Morty fans present it, that's not how it really was, or something like. I don't know, some kind of dumb shit. Well, anyway, so you did, but you have not been fingered by Justin Roiland?
Nope, only in my dreams. Well, not anymore.
But only she
Fucking
wanted
fuck
to
that
be.
guy. That's
All right.
nuts.
You can only fuck one of them, Dan Harmon or Justin Roiland.
Ooh, Justin Roiland.
Okay.
Dan Harmon's like, you want to hear some shit, look up
yuck.
Dan Harmon, man.
Yuck.
Dan, yeah, I thought Dan Harmon had accusations against him too.
It's not so much accusations. He made a short film where he was like, I don't know if I could say this on air, fucking a baby.
Well, you can say those words. I mean, you just can't advocate
Yeah, you
for
can't
it. Yeah.
promote it.
You can't say you're going to do it.
Disavow.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't that the whole Justin Roiland thing being creepy towards young girls. You're saying that the Rick and Morty fan base is so fucked up and damaged that they would have taken the attention and been very happy about it. That's probably why it's taken these girls so many years to come forward.
They are damaged. Like most hardcore Rick and Morty female fans are fucking damaged.
So stay away from them, you're saying?
Yeah.
If you're a single guy watching this show right now and a woman tells you, I'm really big into Rick and Morty, you're saying run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Red
good.
flags.
All right, cool. If they're into The Notebook, just like treat them like shit and cheat on them because they'll stick around forever. But if they like Rick and Morty, just fucking run the other way.